Hello, I'm calling from Ohio. I am part of the Purdue group. The last three calls touched on what my question is, nursing homes. Do we have any instruction on how to get into that system? Whose house will be taken by the state and controlled by the state because they don't have assets? Do we have a function for handling that? Those confined to nursing homes who they're not wealthy, probably the only asset they have of value is their home. Who do you contact for that? Do attorneys generally handle that? I just don't know where to even begin.
Yeah, one place to begin is we talked about part of building your referral network is getting to know the point person who has the initial contact with families at each nursing home facility in your area. Their job is to show them the amenities of the community, look at their finances and share with them what it costs to live there, look at their finances and see if they can find a way. The average senior citizen in the United States holds 50 to 80% of their net worth in their primary residence. Those on the lower end of the income scale are like 80%, and those in the upper middle classes, they're more like 50%. But it's still usually the most significant asset that they have. A lot of times those folks have to sell those homes in order to afford to move into long-term care because they didn't have a long-term care plan or insurance. So having that nursing home employee know that, listen, you can make one phone call and this family will get all this service under one phone call. We will help them sell the personal property that they can no longer keep. We will use a white glove senior moving service to get what they are keeping over to your facility. We will maximize every dollar that we can of the personal property, put that money back into the real property, and maximize every penny of equity we can when selling this home. And all you have to do is let me know when you meet a family that needs that help. I'll handle everything. So if all the nursing home employees in the community know that there's this team that so think about it, they're being paid on commission. They get a base plus commission. So a head and a bed equals a paycheck. So they're highly incentivized to liquidate this person's assets to free up cash so they can move into their facility so they can get paid. It's a symbiotic relationship. Like, you're going to get a higher price for the assets statistically than they would selling them on their own, and you're going to get it done probably months faster than they would. So the nursing home employees you're their best friend because you help create liquidity that puts heads in beds that gets them paid. As far as the people who are already in there, a lot of times you can contact social workers. So if someone had to go into long-term care but they didn't have time to sell their house, now it probably has a Medicaid lien attached to that. Medicaid dictates at what price and how those are listed and marketed. And my trick for that is you can talk to a social worker, find out who's in that situation, or let them know when somebody finds themselves in this situation, please call me. We have a strategy for getting these homes sold at market value. So what they dictate is they make you list the home at the tax-assessed value for at least 12 months before you can price down to market value. Oftentimes these homes are over the tax assessments high on them because no upgrades have been made. They have a lot of, not always deferred maintenance, but just functional obsolescence. They're dated. So what I do is I get the social worker involved, so she becomes my liaison before Medicaid, so I don't have to sit on the phone with Medicaid. And then as soon as I get the property listed, I go straight to the tax assessor with a comparative CMA, or even better, a market absorption analysis or a BPO, and just say, listen, this family, they're in long-term care, they're not coming home. It's important that we liquidate this asset. Can we please change the assessment to a realistic value? And I've always been able to get this done. They will drop the tax assessed value, so therefore I can do the MLS change form, drop the price, get that to the social worker, and get offers almost immediately. Most realtors haven't figured this out, and you can get the social worker on your side because it's in their best interest. It's in the consumer's best interest to go ahead and get the home sold instead of just letting it sit there empty with a Medicaid lien against it overpriced and the family having to deal with it. So everybody wins in that scenario. The best way I know to find people in that scenario is talk to the folks. The people from the nursing home would send people to me, like the patients. I would get calls because they're like, hey, listen, talk to the lady at the front desk. She said that you understand what's going on. And once you talk to them once, they're just kind of like, yeah, I don't really care. Do you have this? Can I quit worrying about it? And it's such a peace of mind for them. So it was really me, the social worker, and the tax assessor would get it done. So you can create a ton of value for everybody involved by getting into that situation. The best way to find them is through the nursing home employees and social workers. They deal with this every day.
Okay, with regard to the social workers, that's a blanket term. How would I know which social worker?
They start with, if you just Google Cincinnati Social Services and then just pick up the phone and start asking. You have federal, state, and local programs and social workers. It is a very broad and ever-growing space, but I got really lucky. I Googled Roanoke City Social Services. I called, I talked to April, and she's been my one point of contact the whole time. And she is phenomenal. So hopefully you get really lucky and you get the right person on the first phone call. I did. So.